Yes!
You're good to go.
Awesome. Hey, this is Dallin and Duncan.
Hi there.
Back again with the Virtual Athletics League. Today we got something super awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. We have the Global Grand Final for the Skyfront tournament with two amazing arcades.
Yeah, so we've got VRality from Israel and Outer Limits VR from Vacaville, California. Outer Limits is the champion of our Archangel Hellfire, so they are doing really well in Val tournaments so far, yeah?
Yeah, they've been awesome. They've been doing really well. And both these arcades, they've been jumping in a lot. They've been practicing. They've been honing their craft. So we're super stoked for what should be a great final. And it looks like, you know, both the teams are logged in, ready to go. So why don't we just get this thing started?
Yeah, let's go over to gameplay. All right. Let's double check. Awesome. So here we are, Skyfront Tournament Manager, and we'll start the match. Yeah, it started out VRality just had their names as VRality 1, VRality 2, VRality 3, but maybe they got a little inspiration from Star-Lord over here, because now they're all Marvel heroes.
I love it. I love that they went in, kind of changed things up. I think it's really cool.
All right. So
And they're in.
They are in. All right, so we're over on the limit right here. Taken out by VRality.
Wow. Kills left and right. One thing to watch out for in this game is just the movements. Just something that both of these teams have definitely been practicing on, getting better at. It's one of the main things that you need to really get good at Skyfront. It's whipping around the play space. Hitting the wall.
We're on Star-Lord right now. The leader of the
Wow. That's so awesome.
So if you notice, he's got revolvers and as his weapon, and he's coming up here. He'll pull out the pineapple, right? So the revolvers and pineapple are the dominant strategy. They are. So revolvers are, you know, if you're close enough and you hit anyone in the torso, really, you're definitely dead. Pineapple, you launch that little grenade and it gets within 4 or 5 feet of an opponent and detonate it, they're dead. So it is by far the dominant strategy. I think pineapplers and revolvers, 90% of the players out there.
Yeah, definitely throughout all the matches. If you go back and check out the screens, pineapple gun comes up a lot. It's just such a good weapon. You can get that kind of you know, that radial effect with the bombs. You can even shoot out 3 at once. It almost seems like
Yeah, it's pretty powerful. I've never played a game where the meta is so decisively one thing. Pretty VRality's 4th player. Yeah, they are pretty impressive. Oh, and then he's taken down. So back at it. There we go. Casters.
definitely haven't been able to master this. When you start picking up speed, you know, it can be pretty tough to keep your accuracy, but you know, a lot of these players that have gotten this far, you know, they've just been practicing, so it's definitely involved in this game, which makes it so interesting for this tournament.
Luckily, it's pretty easy. You'll see a lot
of awesome. He's right there, turned on his shield. This is awesome. These guys are going at it. In between each match, we'll update the scores, give you guys an idea of where it's at. So, the finals being played is going to be 3 rounds, 10 minutes each, and the team with the most kills, cumulative kills over the 3 rounds, win the match, win the championship. So we'll keep you guys updated on how many kills each team has. And one thing that these teams do really well is in spots where they've been down, and they have been in the past, they do a good job of strategizing and coming back in the second and third round to take the lead. So we'll see how the gameplay switches up in these couple rounds, see how these teams kind of talk to each other and how they collaborate together. It should be interesting.
Back after a break and just kill it, totally reverse the guys right now. And that's really where it's at. It's the strategy, communication with the players. So couldn't quite get that kill and you could jam and take that. Speedy. Take it out.
Really high competitive gameplay. This is awesome. Jeez. That machine gun that we just got in the capture was not a revolver, right?
Not the revolver, no. I was wrong. Usually, oh, here we go. It says VRality wins. Let's take a look at this kill count. All right, so we will be right back in a second. We're gonna restart this Tournament Manager app and see if we can't get those live score feeds. So yeah, we'll be right back. All right, hey folks, we're back.
Yeah, so we just took a little bit of a break right there in between, set up the next match. So that first one, actually pretty close when we tallied up the scores. Right now, VRality holds a slight lead at 87 to Outer Limits 74 kills. Which,
pretty close.
Yeah, definitely like Outer Limits is still in this thing, but 87 to 74 going into the second round.
That is pretty close. I mean, it does seem like accidentally booted a player.
It's all right.
That's fine. He'll jump back in. But it seems like a somewhat sizable lead, but it's definitely recoverable. We've seen bigger leads, be squashed before. So.
Yeah. So definitely Outer Limits still in this thing. They're a veteran team, so we'll see what happens in the second round. Did you notice anything in the first? I know we were switching around through players, but seems like expect a lot more of the same. The Pineappler is going to be a huge thing. We'll see how well these guys use their jammers. But if you can execute on those two things, you can rack up double kills. You can rack up the kills pretty fast in this game. And over the course of 10 minutes, they can easily, make the difference.
Yeah, for sure. And something that we have definitely noticed, throughout the plays, like in the beginning, a lot of people were using shield and heal and X-ray and health, and all of the the power-ups were being used pretty equally. But as it's come down to it, the two most powerful ones, the jammer and the shield, are being used almost constantly. And what I noticed is while Outer Limits didn't have as high of a kill count, they definitely were utilizing the jammer a lot more. So let's see if they can't use that jammer and kind of finish off some of those kills this next round.
Yeah, should be exciting stuff. It looks like the two teams are starting to make their way back into the lobby. So we'll be able to start this next round really soon. But yeah, let's continue to watch for those things, right? Use of the jammer, use of the shield. We saw a couple examples of it in that first round. I think there was a time when it looked like one of the VRality players kind of baited an Outer Limits player towards him. As soon as he got close, guy kicked on his shield last second and had a direct shot right at the player. So it's interesting to see those things, kind of the bait and switch within the game.
It can be really challenging and a little risky to do that, though, because as you approach somebody, if you put on your shield before they put on their shield, they can just plop on a shield and wait until yours runs out. And that is a really dangerous position to be in, because you either have to run or you have to have a jammer to be able to break through their shield. So that's two power-ups gone just for one trade. So.
There's definitely tons of that going on, because there is a pretty sizable kind of cooldown period after you use a shield where it needs to recharge. I'm not sure how long it is exactly, but it takes a while. And when you're sitting there without your shield, you're definitely vulnerable.
Yeah, it is not a nice position to be in. I would not be
definitely
happy.
Not.
It is. It's so exciting. These games are so dynamic, and just having played the game quite a bit, it's so cool to see people who are a lot better than I am just killing it. They do some things, especially that movement. Make sure to watch out for this next round. You see that little dome building within the game? Players will just whip around that thing. It is crazy fast.
So fun. I
think the shape of it has something to do with it, how they can, kind of circle around it. I'm not really quite sure why, but it is a really, really cool thing to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it looks like we got all 8 players in. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get it back to the gameplay and get the second round going. Continue to watch out for those things, how these guys are using their shields, how they're using their jammers. Kind of the strategy that goes into it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we are back, and it looks like those score counts are not available, that's okay. We'll keep you updated on which players are on. So we are on Outer Limits right now. that invisibility is pretty deadly. He sneaks up the players. He's able to extricate himself from situations pretty easily doing that. Feels like a war zone.
Wow, that was awesome. That was awesome.
So this is genius above VR. This is the owner. Skyfront favorite game. So makes a lot of sense. Good at it. It's really fun.
I just think
VRality.
I just think virtual reality esports is so cool. And to see things like this, with this type of competition, this type of strategy that goes into it. This is the first of many that are going to be coming alive. This thing, the more games we have like this in VR, the more you're able to participate in these ways of different applications. Virtual reality can change the way that we view sports.
No, for sure. I think one thing we have Al to the physicality of VR esports. It's exhausting. You have to move your arms around. You have to be standing. I mean, Skyfront is maybe a little more physical than some other games, but still the entire time you're standing, you're actually physically engaging in ways that traditional esports don't really do. It's more along the lines of traditional sports.
It's such a cool hybrid between, like a pretty traditional sport, right? Like basketball or soccer. You're still going to these worlds that you can go into video games. So it's this cool kind of hybrid between the two sports, but more physical, more exercise, ducking and dodging. When we did one of our competitions here, we had a player who was literally like sliding across the floor, dodging lasers, jumping up and down. So I think that VR blends the tools and it gives everybody a piece of what they're looking for. It's just so cool, and I can't wait to see where it continues to grow. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. We're back on the they get taken out by a VRality shield. You want to play the game, learn how and win shields and jammers. That's it. That's the key. Also the pineapple.
We need a pineappler in every shooter from now on.
It is the easiest gun to use. I'm really bad at first-person shooters. I feel like with the pineappler, I feel like it's actually pretty
Good point.
watching the use of enchantment everyone is team. Here with the ability. I think it's hanging out.
The movement is just so fast. You feel like you're safe and you're all by yourself, and you have a little bit of time to get your bearings. But somebody can whip into your sights so quick. You have to be on your toes the entire time.
Yeah, this game is the only game VR that I can think of that's even close to fast as this. That's about it. Where upset something like this it's pretty useful, especially in the VR space. They're hunting down that God, destroyed. Wow. That invisibility. Wow. You saw that little trail? Yeah. That was stealth on the behalf of so, and it's like interesting technique. Well.
Yeah, interesting technique.
Seems like a pretty powerful bait. We talked about using the shield bait, so maybe leading a player close to you and then popping invisibility, you can sneak away and they don't know to use it.
It's another one of those techniques that take a lot of practice, getting that timing out of point punch. These two teams, they go in, they practice, and they play. Kills coming in fast, left and right.
This game requires a lot of
you know, I think what makes it so cool for an esports game skill that's involved. And you can tell that there is some skill that goes into this game. It's not your typical shooter. There's so much practice that needs to be done, whether it's finding your jammer, learning how to use the guns. The movement is huge, a huge part of the game. So in that way, in that sense, I feel like it's just a traditional sport where you can go in, you can practice baseball, out of his baseball, and you can get better and better over time. Skyfront is unique in that way where it involves a control, but there's so much skill that goes into it.
What we're seeing here is, especially right now, really fascinating how the players are just crashing together at top speed. It's pretty impressive. Oh, looks like VRality wins that one. Let's double check on our kill count and see how that goes. Looks like we had a couple players drop. And yeah, so we'll be right back with you after we confirm some details from the arcades. We're back. So we are having, as is to be expected, some technical difficulties on the ends of the arcade. That sounded a little sarcastic. Basically, with VR esports, right, we're using new technologies and technologies that aren't necessarily, you know, meant for commercial play. And so as a result, tech issues happen all the time.
Yeah, technical issues can happen, especially, you know, with the virtual reality headsets, and given that there's so much movement within the game. It happens all the time at our arcade where you're spinning around and, you know, just something comes unplugged. It's not, you know, it's not uncommon. So that's why I think it's really cool that, you know, people like HTC, they're starting to roll out some wireless headsets.
Yeah, I am.
And that's going to make a huge difference. So on the side of the arcades, looks like something like that probably happened. They're just going to plug a couple things back in. They're going to strategize and go back at it. That last round is one that we're going to have to do a little bit more review on, it looks like. But as it stands, we have the score VRality 148 to Outer Limits 146. So Outer Limits made up some ground in that round.
It's true, yeah. This next match could really mean the difference between winning and losing for both teams. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So while we're waiting for all the teams to log in, let's talk a little bit about our sponsors and partners.
Yeah. So a couple of our awesome sponsors for this tournament: Springboard, which is a virtual reality arcade manager, which is so awesome. It makes it so easy for virtual reality arcades, both in the United States, North America, and all across the world, to be able to log in, manage their systems, license the games, which is so cool. It makes such a big difference for the developers. So a huge shout out to the guys at Springboard for really working that out and just making something easy and beneficial for arcade owners and game developers.
Yeah. One of the really great things about Springboard is that it empowers VR arcade customers to kind of choose their own experience, right? You plop a player into Springboard, they see a giant library of games, you give them some time to play, and they can play whatever they want. Now, we usually suggest games that we know, or we have games, they might ask, I want a first-person shooter. Well, then we put them into Skyfront, right?
Yeah.
But it really empowers the player to choose games they want. If they don't like a game, they can switch out, they can choose another game. It's really, really smooth and slick, and it makes it easier on our end, and it gives the customer a better experience. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely empowers the customer. You can choose different tags. You can find the exact game that you want. There's game trailers within the platform, so somebody in VR, they can get like a little sneak preview of what the game's going to look like. So it's really, really cool. If you're an arcade owner out there, looking for something awesome to give both your customers and to really help out your employees, definitely check out Springboard. They're just an awesome group to work with. Also sponsoring the event, the guys over at HTC.
HTC, yeah. So all of our headsets here at the arcade, HTC Vive. We have 2 Vive Pros even, which are amazing.
Yeah.
They are so comfortable.
So one of the really awesome things that HTC is doing is that for the winning arcade, they'll be able to upgrade their equipment. So the arcade that wins today is actually going to get a Vive Pro and that wireless adapter that we were talking about earlier, right? So something really cool. HTC, those guys are awesome. I love how much support that they give arcades and the esports group. So huge shout out to HTC and their team.
Yeah. It's really going to make a big difference for arcades, I think, especially ones that are engaging in competitive play, to not have to worry about a cable sticking out of the back of their head.
So much easier.
Mm-hmm.
So much easier.
So our last sponsor here is HP, creator of this awesome thing right here. This is the computer I actually work on every day here at Virtual Athletics League. It is amazing. It is so fast. This is the HP Omen. And they've been so nice to let us use this really, really cool machine. And that's what we're running the stream off of, the tournament manager, everything. It is incredible. And it has so many inputs. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, such an awesome piece of equipment. So while we're getting ready for these last couple players to jump in, there are a couple cool things, in the pipeline to kind of end 2018 on, as far as the Virtual Athletics League goes. A really awesome game that's coming up, After H, which is a pre-release title that you'll get to see, right here in the Virtual Athletics League. We're going to cover it on the stream. It's going to be another, arcade versus arcade first-person shooter that we're super excited to get involved with.
Yeah, After H is awesome. So as the developers say, it's kind of like VR Halo. It's pretty cool. It's an awesome game, a sci-fi first-person shooter. It's really straightforward too. There are 2 modes. There's team deathmatch, or there might be like single deathmatch, team deathmatch, and then domination mode. And we've been playing around with After H, and it's super fun. The domination mode, I was playing it last night. We were playing with VR Territory Orlando and Breezy, who's the champion of our Arizona Sunshine Island 359 tournament. So Ryan and the CEO of VAL and I were playing against those guys, and it was a blast. We had a lot of fun.
Tons of fun. Yeah, it's so much fun. And one thing that I love about it is you can jump in and it's relatively straightforward. It feels, like you said, just like, you know, those games that you were familiar with. It feels just like Halo. It feels just like Call of Duty. It feels just like these awesome first-person shooters that you can jump in on, start playing, and it feels so natural. It's a great game. I can't wait to cover it. And it's going to be, like we said, it's going to be another, you know, 4-on-4 first-person shooter. So as we go throughout the tournament, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of that strategy come to play, communication. So it's going to be such a fun tournament to cover.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And alongside After H, we're also doing Quiver. So we're wrapping up with the Quiver Global Tournament. We are doing a global high score tournament for the awesome archery tower defense game Quiver.
One of my favorites.
So alongside this tournament, they launched Vanguard, which is a arcade-focused, simplified build of the game, and it is really, really great. It is hop in, play, shoot some bad guys with a bow, feel like Legolas, pop out. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so much fun. And on the Virtual Athletics League Discord channel, you know, we cover all of this. Tons of both athletes and arcade owners around the world. Super heavily involved, you know, going back and forth on different strategies, on gameplay, sharing gameplay videos. So, you know, if you have a headset out there and you want to be part of the community, definitely jump into the Discord. I post a link to it just on our Twitch page. Just do that and yeah, get involved because it's so much fun to just be part of this community. To meet other people that are playing around the world, to go to an actual physical location and play with these guys, it's just a blast. So it looks like the last couple players are jumping into the lobby. Looks like we're just waiting on one more from the VRality side, and then we'll get the final round going. I mean, it's a super close match. It's basically decided by, you know, 148 to 146. Outer Limits changed things up a little bit in that round. So we'll see if they can pull ahead, but VRality, they've been strong. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great final match.
So let's switch on over to the gameplay, and we will start. This tournament manager is so slick. It's really fun to run games in a system like this. I think it allows us to get a close-up look at the action, switch between all the players, get kind of an overview that I think a lot of other games might be a little hard to engage with. So we are on our players right now. Bring them out. There we go, flying off into the distance. Switch over to Genius right here, the owner of Outer Limits. One of the big things about Limits, I think, is how engaged the really a lot.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, and a lot of these teams are just made up in so many different ways. Some, allow lot of the arcade staff, even the owners get involved, which is crazy cool. A lot of the arcades, you know, they hold local competitions. Their own league tournaments, and see who even compete on the team. So a lot of these guys, you know, it's customers. It's people in the local area that may have a headset themselves, and maybe come to the arcade frequently to play and practice. So I think it's really cool to see home users and people that have the getting involved with the arcade. Sports like this and competitions like this is a cool way to kind of intertwine the two. They may not have interacted otherwise.
Yeah. You know, one of the coolest moments I think for us is we had been playing around on Skyfront, getting some practice in, trying to understand the game, and we kept running into this player, Sonic. Sonic zoom around the map like nothing else. I still think it's fast and incredible movement as the players are here. Sonic's he is so fast. Maybe the fastest player in Skyfront. And so we kind of treated him like a legend a little bit. Well, when Augmented Reality Lab, Carolina competition, who was on their team? No other than Sonic, who just by range is happened to live by their arcade. And so to create that relationship and help build that connection between pros, Skyfront players, and the dev zone
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's freaking awesome. One of the urban Skyfront legends. Find out about the tournament, go to this local arcade and participate. And that's something that wouldn't have happened without these arcadians getting involved and being part of the competition. So if you're an arcade owner out there and you're looking to reach out to more people, get more people involved in the arcade, get involved in the tournament. There's awesome rewards that you guys can win, like we talked about with HTC 5 Pro, the wireless adapter. Awesome stuff, cash prizes, it's fun. But maybe the best part is just getting involved with the community. People that are introducing us, other arcade owners that are going through the same thing as you. It's tons of fun. It's a great community. The guys from California, to Israel, to Estonia, just tons of fun, great people. So I for one, really love the competition just from getting to know everybody.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And one really negligible outcome of these things, engagement from people maybe outside of the team themselves. Talking to Alex, the owner over at VRality, he mentioned that, you know, one of the VRality, by engagement with a post regarding
Getting back to the oh man, chaos. This game is so fast. So much going on. Bombs exploding everywhere. With that pineapple gun, you can shoot 3 at one time. There's literally explosions going on left and right. It's like a World War
II. We are on the VRality. Really cool thing about VRality is a lot of we really enjoy they're also all new. VRality is too. So
and it's one of the unique things, right, about VR esports is anything. There was a competition that I heard about, and there was a player, no one knew who he was, but he was totally dominating. They get to the finals, and they find out that the person in the finals, 9-year-old kid, just crushes people. It's just really cool just to see like how people get involved. All sorts of across life, whatever age or background. VR esports is open to everybody. As long as you practice and keep getting at it, we'll take it.
Looks like Starlord gets taken out. Hands behind his back. Wow. After okay. Back on here. Really long. Successful. And off how much time left? So, I mean, this could be it.
Down to the fire. Jeez, there's a couple of guys out there. I don't know if you can see it in the last rounds, but somebody is using those shotguns.
Yeah. You know, someone on the VRality team is using shotguns. I think that's the thing. You can switch out loadout in the middle. So, it does require a little time. Switch out the loadout. You might have seen a little bit of that with the shotgun. Back on the last player of VRality.
One thing I should mention for this round is the Skyfront team just made a huge announcement. Literally just started posting about it on Twitter, I think just a few days ago on their Twitter and Facebook. But Skyfront, ooh,
Wow.
Get back to
Here
that.
we go. Let's make sure we document these kills. Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna tally up the scores. We'll get back to you guys in just a few minutes here.
All right.
Dang, what a map.
All right. Hi, folks. We are back. This is really close.
Dude. What oh my gosh, what an amazing like global competition. It literally came down to the slimmest of margins. Like literally by one kill.
It's crazy. So our total is Outer Limits VR with 228 kills. VRality, 229.
Oh.
That is so close.
Came down to the absolute slimmest of margins. But VRality from Israel, they practiced, they went in, and they ended up pulling off what I would consider an upset. You know, Outer Limits has been really involved. They won our last tournament. So to see VRality, you know, a team, this was their first big tournament with us, to pull out the victory. It's so awesome. Huge shout out to those guys, because they definitely put in the work to get this one.
Yeah, no, I remember watching VRality get smoked by the Estonian team from Futurum in their first match in the first round. But they came back after that first loss, trained a lot, and smoked Futurum in turn. And now they've beat Outer Limits, our Archangel Hellfire champions. So that is a real improvement from that first round.
Real accomplishment. Huge shout out to those guys. Awesome announcement from the Skyfront team. Skyfront is going to be available. It will be leaving beta access and will be available, the full title, December 20th. So go in, check it out on Steam, get into the match, and start your own competitions because it's such a fun game. There's so much to it. There's such a good community around it. So December 20th, the full release of Skyfront. We can't wait. And we're just, thanks a lot for, getting on the stream and watching this with us. Again, huge shout out to the VRality team in Israel. Congrats, guys.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, with that, we'll end our Skyfront Global Tournament. So thank you so much, and we'll see you around.
Ciao.